Jorge, thanks for sitting down with me.
Great to be here.
You received a lot of attention for going to a Donald Trump press conference many months ago. It's recounted in your new book. I'm curious, when your title is Take a Stand, what sort of stand do you think the press should take when it comes to coverage of Donald Trump?
As a journalist, we have to cover the basics. If it's red, we say it's red. If it's 5 people who died, we say 5 people. And then after the basics, in certain occasions, you have to take a stand. And when it comes to racism, discrimination, corruption, public lies, dictatorships of human rights, I think we have to take a stand. So when we have a candidate who is promoting hatred and division, who says that Mexican immigrants, and I'm a Mexican immigrant, who says that Mexican immigrants are rapists or criminals or drug traffickers, I think we have to take a stand, and that's precisely what I did.
With Trump, do you think that makes it difficult or impossible to get an interview with him?
I don't know. We don't know exactly how Donald Trump is going to react.
Because about a month ago, he settled a lawsuit that he had against Univision, and he said he was ready to talk to you. Has anything come of that?
Nothing has changed, and I'm still waiting. If he wants to have an interview with me, I'm ready. And I hope that he's listening to this interview. Because he, as you said, and you pointed that out in one of your tweets, that finally he had accepted that we can have a conversation. And I want to have that conversation. We need to have that conversation because most of the things that he's been saying about Latinos and his support from the Latino vote is wrong. I mean, he has no support from the
You mean
Hispanic.
When he says that he has a lot of support among Hispanics,
he doesn't
the polls
have it.
show that he doesn't?
81% of Latinos, according to a Univision and Washington Post poll, say that they have a negative opinion of Donald Trump. And if he were to run against Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, he would only get 16% of the Hispanic vote. With that, he cannot win. To put it in perspective, Romney got 27% of the Latino vote and lost the election. McCain got 31% and lost the election. So all the things that he's been saying about Latinos, he's wrong. And I would love to be able to talk to him directly and confront him because I think that's part of our role.
So you have put in your interview requests repeatedly and just haven't heard back, or they've said no? What's happened?
Sometimes some of his representatives, they answer, sometimes they don't. But we're ready. We're in communication with them, but they just haven't answered yet.
Given what you're saying, can you be fair with Donald Trump in an interview? Can your coverage be fair?
I think so. I cannot be accused of not asking tough questions on Democrats. We had a debate a few days ago, and I think we put pretty good, strong questions against Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. I've been tough on Donald Trump, and I think I can be on anyone.
So you're saying you're tough across the board?
Well, that's what I try to do.
But your critics have said because your daughter works for the Hillary Clinton campaign that you have a conflict of interest. Why do you think you don't have a conflict of interest that require you to recuse yourself from covering Clinton?
Because right from the beginning, I disclosed that my daughter Paola is working for Hillary Clinton. I think it is fantastic that young people, including Paola, are getting involved in politics. But at the same time, that's her choice, not mine. I've talked twice to Hillary Clinton, and on both occasions, right before the interview, right before the debate, right before the forum, I said, this is what's happening. I'm disclosing it again, and nobody has complained about it.
Some commentators, like Jamel Bouie at Slate, have suggested that Donald Trump's rise is white America's reaction to a black president and to an increasingly majority-minority country, including Hispanics in the country. Do you subscribe to that idea that there is a racial component to Trump's success?
What I know is that he has a lot of support from white voters. That's what we know. Mm-hmm. And what we know is that minorities, because of the things that he has said, are not supporting Donald Trump. The fact is that the trend right now, if we were talking about huge trends, is that this country is becoming a multicultural, multi-ethnic, multi-racial country in ways in which no one even imagined. Again, in 2055, the white non-Hispanic population will become a minority. So I do think that Donald Trump has a nostalgic view of the United States. I think
But does it go deeper than that? Should the press take a stand and say that Trump and what he represents, that there is an element of racism to his campaign?
I don't know what's in his heart, but I do know what's coming out of his mouth. And then when he says that Mexican immigrants are rapists or criminals or drug traffickers, I think we have to take a stand. We have to say, Mr. Trump, Senor Trump, that is not true.
Some viewers of my program email me and say, people should just report the news. Journalists should just say what's going on and let people decide. Why is that not enough?
The most important social responsibility that we have as journalists is to confront those who are in power. That's why we're here. And we have to cover the basics, and that's reporting exactly what we see, and that's fine. But then the second level of journalism, it is to prevent the abuse of those who are in power. That's our power. That's our responsibility. And sometimes if you abdicate that responsibility, you're not being a true reporter. That's taking a stand.